How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, just like always, we're going to be breaking down the entire market, talking about the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, as well as the Dow Jones. And I also want to go over what I personally did today in the stock market, any buying, any selling. We're going to go over that in today's video, as well as a bunch of other stocks and ETFs that I'm watching here heading into the month of March in 2020. And like you all read in the title, is the stock market bottoming out? This has kind of been the chatter across the stock market investing community as the markets today hit a 15% drop from all-time highs. So I kind of want to go over my opinions on that. Do I see this being the bottom, or is there more pain in store? So if you guys enjoy this video, all I ask from you is to go down below, hit that like button, and also consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see further content like this. And if you haven't gotten your 2 free stocks from Webull, valued up to $1,400, that link is down below in the description box. All you have to do is put in $100. You get those 2 free stocks, no strings attached, and that's guaranteed. So let's get into the video today. And guys, we had quite a crazy day yet again. And if you guys have been paying attention to these markets, this has been the worst week since 2008. The Dow Jones has lost about 4,000 points. We'll get into that in about a minute or two here, but the S&P has lost about 500 points from the all-time high to where it is right now. And get this, guys, this is something crazy that I was thinking about earlier. This, in my opinion, is the definition of a flash crash. This market has fallen from nearly 3,400 down to about 2,850, which is almost, honestly, a 550-point drop in the matter of 10 calendar days. Not 10 trading days, guys. 10 calendar days. That is absolutely insane. If we go back to that 2018 sell-off back in October to December, this was not really a flash crash, right? I guess it was a quicker crash of about 20%, but not nearly as quick as what we're seeing here, which happened in the past 10 days, again, like I just said. Back in October of 2018, this crash, it's not even too big of a crash. It was around 20%, which is right on the cusp of a bear market, but it took around, about a month and a half, nearly 2 months to drop 20%. And again, we're down 15% in the matter of 10 calendar days. So just put that in your mind and understand how quickly this thing, in terms of the market here, has dropped over the past couple of days. And if we're just taking a look, technically speaking here, the downtrend is still intact, right? We're not really showing any solidifying sign that we're breaking up here. We're not seeing a leg up quite yet in the market. And for me to really confirm that, to be confident going long in the market, I'd need to see a big pop here above that 50 SMA and at least a $3,000 move in the S&P. And by that I mean the S&P going back into the $3,000 level. And you may be asking yourself, Stas, aren't you already long? The truth is, yes, I'm long in the markets, very long term. I have a long-term portfolio, and I'm actually in Microsoft right now pretty heavily betting on a rebound. But the truth is, I'm not as heavy as I normally will be or would be in my swings due to the uncertainty that still remains in this market. So for me to go even heavier in some of these stocks, again, I'm in Microsoft pretty heavy now, but to build some other positions in some other stocks we'll talk about later on in this video, I would need to see some sort of definitive move into 3K, maybe 3,100 for the S&P 500. That's just me personally. That's just the comfort level that kind of I'm settling with right now, right? And if we're taking a look at some longer term supports very quickly on the S&P, we talked about how 3,000 3,030 was a very strong level, and clearly we blew past that. So the next level we're looking at here is going to be around 2,850, which on a positive note here for the bull side, and really there aren't too many positives for the bulls right now. But one of the main ones is that we are holding that level heading into the close today. And let me show you all on, actually this year chart shows it the best. 2850, 2860, this is back where we consolidated over August 2019 and a little bit here in October 2019 before seeing that historic run up to the all-time highs. And take a look here. If we go to the 5-day, 5-minute, where did we triple bottom today? Right at around 2850. Once in the morning, the market was down 90, maybe 100 points here for the S&P. Twice, right towards with about 2 hours left in the market, and 3 times here with about what is this, 25 minutes left in the market before we saw that massive push. So for me, this is positive for the bulls, right? This is a good sign here for the bulls. But again, we're still downtrending overall in pretty much every single time frame, which leads me to be more cautious, more patient, more heavy cash, so I can see what happens next week and then maybe get into some of those opportunities if we do end up seeing some sort of pop. And the thing is, guys, anything can happen over the weekend. And this market, I just have a feeling, it can shift in either direction very, very quickly, depending on if we get positive or negative news heading into the session on Monday, right? And another thing around the CV, of course, right? If we get positive or negative news around that, the market could go up 5%, down another 5%. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. So if we go to the Dow Jones is down $357, or it was down $357 at the close today, down 1.39%. And did I even tell you guys what the S&P was down? I don't even know, but I'll say it again. $24 in the red at the close today for the S&P, down 0.8%, which honestly, that's a fantastic day compared to what the market has been doing over these past couple of days. So back to the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones clearly broke 26.7. That was a support I was watching. We actually we broke 25.4 today momentarily, but it seems like we're holding it heading into the close of the market, heading into the weekend, which is a pretty good sign here. And if you guys don't know, I've been talking about this level over the past couple of videos. Major support here for the Dow at about 25.4. And let's see, did it triple bottom there? No, it didn't. It actually closed above it. We dipped below it pretty aggressively to 24.6. That's kind of where we triple bottomed on the Dow Jones, 24.6. And let me see, is that a support for the Dow Jones as well? I guess you can say, yeah, it kind of is, 24.7, 24.6. So in general, keep an eye on 25,400 to around 24,600. That 800-point range is kind of where the Dow Jones is settling as of right now. But again, anything could happen, guys. Trust me, and I'm sure you know this. Anything could happen based on news catalysts over the weekend, which could really shift the markets up or down quite aggressively. So the Nasdaq here, it's up 100. Wait a second. This is up 122 points right now. Futures are up, it seems like, with about 20 minutes after the session today. So let me take a look at what the Nasdaq closed at. Okay, this is quite interesting. Nasdaq closed up 90 cents here, according to Yahoo Finance, but it's up 1.5%. Wait a second. Am I missing something here? Let me take a look at some large caps after hours. Am I missing something here? Drop a comment down below, guys, as I am filming this video a bit really right after the market. So if anything came out, I might have missed it. But either way, the Nasdaq is up 122 points right now. Wow. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So in general, the Nasdaq, it seems like it's still in a downtrend, like the S&P and the Dow Jones, like I said, right? And until we break, I'd say, this 50 SMA on this hourly chart, it's going to remain in a downtrend. And for me personally, to go long on, let's say, some of these market ETFs that track the Nasdaq, like TQQQ, which goes up whenever the Nasdaq is going up, for me to get into a position like that, I would need to see a definitive move, I'd say above, of course, that 50 SMA on the hourly chart, and definitely above that $8,700 level. But for me right now, again, with the volatility, the uncertainty, the fear, I'm not going to rush anything. I'm not rushing anything. I would rather miss out on opportunities than take unnecessary risks. So heading into the weekend, heavy cash right now for me. And the strategy of making quick moves in TVIX, in some of these bear market ETFs, that is still the strategy that I'm going with here, and that's been profitable for me over these past couple of trading days, like I've been explaining in these videos. And another interesting thing, what if the Fed were to come in here and do an emergency rate cut? I don't know if that's going to happen, but I've been hearing that in the news as well, and it kind of makes sense because that could offer a short-term kind of pain relief to the markets, although many argue that this is not a financial problem. At the end of the day, it kind of is a financial problem, but it's more of kind of a health problem here in terms of the CV, and where it comes or where it stems into being a financial problem is obviously companies shutting down their supply chains being disrupted. Obviously, the economics of the businesses are being disrupted. Sales, Q1, it's going to be disrupted. So it goes from being a medical problem, now that's leading into the financial problem, obviously, as we've been seeing in the markets with a bunch of these companies cutting guidance. So if the Fed does come in, that would be something that would be interesting. And let me know down below, what do you guys think about that? That's kind of interesting. And another thing is gold. We'll go over gold here, but it seems like gold is seeing quite a sell-off / GC. And I was trying to think of an educational reason why this is happening in my head. And what I think, or rather what I thought of is people right now, they may be liquidating their gold, going heavier into cash to maybe take advantage of some of these opportunities. That could be one reason. I'm sure you guys can think of many other reasons, but for me, maybe that's kind of what's going on here, as we do see gold down 4% today. And I saw, doing some research today, this was the worst daily performance of gold. It was down 5% at one point in the matter of the past 7 years. So that's pretty crazy. Are people selling out, stockpiling cash, maybe waiting for even further equity prices or equity prices to decline even further to maybe get in? Or are they looking to get in next week using some of that money from gold? I don't know. That's something that's up in the air. It's really just a theory at this point, but it could really be true. And again, let me know down below, what do you guys think about that? Just drop a comment down below. So in terms of what I personally did in today's trading session, I bought a little bit more of Microsoft, and I bought as I saw the price get this, guys, into the low 150s. Crazy move in Microsoft today. It got all the way down to about $151.80. And for me, I ended up buying a little bit more here down in the 153, roughly the 152 range. And that ended up being a great buying opportunity. Obviously, I didn't know it in the moment, but looking back, this ended up being great because the market it really rebounded quite aggressively, or not really the market. Microsoft, the individual stock, did from about 153 up to about 163 nearly here in the aftermarket session. So you guys know my average cost in Microsoft at this point from yesterday's perspective was around 174, 175 roughly. Now, with today's buy at about 153, that brought my cost basis down to about 160, I think it was like 168, 169, because this was more of an aggressive buy down here. So now the gap, you can see as I'm averaging down, the gap between my cost basis and where the stock actually is it's shortening. The gap is closing, meaning I'm closer and closer to achieving a profit at this point. And for me, I'm comfortable. Not saying that I'm done buying Microsoft, but I'm getting comfortable where my position's at. And I understand, I'm well aware, guys, that this thing could fall down to 150 again, maybe 145 even. Worst case scenario, maybe 135, right? I'm aware of that, but at this point, I'm willing to hold and I'm willing to just ride Microsoft out because, again, like I've been mentioning in these videos, this is a longer-term swing, and I do believe that this will rebound or I wouldn't be putting my money into it, right? Another thing I did today was I traded TVIX on 2 separate occasions, and take a look at this, guys. TVIX was up to about $122 today, and see where it's trading after hours. It's at $100. Now it's dropping down to $98. And this is why, like I say all the time about TVIX, ETNs, leveraged ETFs, it's very risky holding these over the weekend or overnight at that matter. These are meant to be quick, in and out, decisive trades, boom, boom, in and out. If you get it wrong, cut your losses quick. If you get a nice profit quick, take the profit and move on. That's kind of how I view TVIX. And for me today, I ended up getting in again on 2 separate occasions. Let me see if I remember my entry points here. I actually got in on this first pullback. Yes, that's where it was. From 123 down to about 107. Did not buy here, but, crap. I'm trying to remember. I'll put screenshots here for you guys, but I think I ended up buying in, I can't really remember, guys, to be honest, but I think it was maybe 111, 110. I wrote it up for a nice little gain there, but I know my second entry was from 117 up to about 121. Actually, no, this morning, I remember now, it was from 115, I think it might have been right here, 115 up to about 121. That was the first move I made, and the second move was more later on in the day on this pullback here from 117 up to about 121. So those are 2 separate day trades in and out that I made today on TVIX. Not trading with a ridiculous dollar amount. Again, like I've said in previous videos, it's an amount that I'm willing to day trade on a risky ETN like TVIX. And it's a great way at the end of the day, in my opinion, being a more seasoned trader here, to make money on down days, right? That's kind of how I do it, and I've been doing it like this for at least 2 to 3 years at this point. And if you guys have been following my channel from 2018 when I started, you know, because I've been talking about TVIX for a while at this point. So let me know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts on this trade, TVIX, Microsoft? Am I an idiot for buying Microsoft? Just be honest with me. Let me know. I'd love to know if you guys think I'm a dummy. It's funny because some people do comment on the videos sometimes, especially as the channel has been growing. They've been saying, "Oh my God, Stas, you're an idiot. Why are you buying that? Why are you doing this?" At the end of the day, if it's your own money, guys, you can really do whatever you want with it at the end of the day, and I really don't criticize anybody out there based on, what they do. But, having a YouTube channel, it's obvious that you are going to get that criticism sometimes. And it is kind of funny just reading through those negative comments. And most of them are positive, but the negative ones, sometimes I do get those as well, guys. So let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts? Now, let's get into a bunch of stocks that have honestly been doing decent with the markets in general tanking here. The first one is Shopify, ticker symbol SHOP. This is one that ended up going up 6% today, and believe it or not, it was up around 2-3% for the whole day before this massive run towards the end of the market. So for me, Shopify is definitely an interesting play, especially as the share price has been cut by about $130 since this drop from $5.93 down to where we are roughly right now. The next stock that did pretty well today is Square, ticker symbol SQ. This one ended up going up $4.02 today, up 5.07%. And really, this is attributed to their strong earnings performance. I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago, rather, they reported. They did quite well on their earnings. Their growth is there for their main business, and the stock, again, up 5.08% today. Very strong. NVIDIA is one that, if you guys caught this today, I personally didn't, but if you caught this, congrats, because you made a lot of money. If you were paying attention to NVIDIA today, it actually bottomed out at around $240, and from there, it made a ridiculous move to $270 when the markets in general were getting squashed, right? This is when the markets, if you take a look at it, the S&P went from 29.30 down to about 28.50. It rallied a little bit from there, but overall S&P was very volatile, while NVIDIA was just straight up killing it. So it's funny. You look through your watch list sometimes, individual stocks, and you realize some out of the bunch end up doing well when the markets in general are tanking. And these are kind of ones that I want to focus in a market like this, not to necessarily swing trade, but to catch those intraday opportunities like we can see here with NVIDIA, with Shopify, we saw that fantastic intraday opportunity. With Square, we saw that fantastic intraday opportunity. The next one I want to go over is Space, ticker symbol SPCE, up 12% today, up $2.63. And we kind of called this out yesterday. I didn't trade it, but if you guys did, let me know down below in the comments. We called this level of support at around $20.50 as a strong level of support, right? It was a resistance from back in January, resistance back from the beginning of February. It was also a 180 SMA level where we could have bounced, right? We've shown a history of bouncing there. So this is a level that I was for sure watching. Again, I didn't make the move, but at this point, I think it's worth watching Space for another leg up, right? It could be one of those stocks that, and you realize, again, some of these stocks, they move up regardless of what the market is doing. And a lot of the time, it is the smaller cap companies, like Space, which it's not really too small cap. It's around like 4, 5 billion. But a lot of the time, not all the time, guys, but sometimes companies like this, smaller cap, they do better in the red days compared to a company like, let's say, Apple, Microsoft, which if the markets are getting killed one day, most likely they will be getting killed as well, right? So that's SPCE. Let's go over some other ones here. Uber did well today too, guys. Ticker symbol UBER, up $1.42, up 4.38% at the close. And this makes me happy because although I'm not in Uber right now, the fact that we held 3060, that is a very strong sign here, a very strong sign of support. And at this point, the fact that we closed above the next level of resistance at around 33.50, we closed at 33.80, that's a really good sign for the bulls as well. So for this upcoming week, can we make another move, a leg up to $35, maybe $36? That is what I'm watching here, and for sure, in my opinion, this would offer some intraday opportunity. So the next one is Google, ticker symbol GOOG. It's a large cap. It's going to get hit very hard when the markets are going down. Obviously, this thing has fallen nearly $200 per share from the top at 1532.11 to where we are right now at about 1339.33. And a positive thing that I'm seeing here is we're actually breaking this downtrend on Google here after market hours. And this Nasdaq continues to go up. What the heck did I miss, guys? Again, let me know in the comments. What did I miss? I'm sure I'll see it when I'm done recording this, but why is this moving so much after hours, guys? This is pretty insane. But either way, back to Google. For sure looking to buy some of this up, especially if we get some calmness around the CV, which I don't know if that's going to happen, and it's quite frankly why I have that cash ready to go, because if we get some positive news, some calmness, this could be an opportunity to hop into some battered down stocks for maybe a quick recovery play. The next one I want to take a look at is Apple, ticker symbol AAPL. This thing ended up closing pretty flat on the day, down 16 cents. And after hours here, just like the Nasdaq, Apple is moving quite aggressively into the $275 level. So this is one that if the markets bounce back, it could see an aggressive bounce back as well, due to it being a large cap, due to it having a lot of weight on the markets in general. So I'm for sure watching Apple. Honestly, guys, the truth is I'm watching all the large caps. Microsoft, obviously, because I'm in it, right? Apple, Google, I'm watching Netflix, which is one that it seems like hasn't really been getting hit quite hard at all. Like, really, not at all. This thing has really not gotten hit at all, guys. From 390 down to where we are now, that's a 5% sell-off. If you simply had your money in Netflix, you would be hedging quite well against the market. Again, it's down only 5%, while the markets in general are down, or were down at one point today, 15% from the peak just 10 days ago, just 10 calendar days ago. So one more, ticker symbol MA, MasterCard. This thing, guys, it's one that, again, like many of these, it doesn't dip often. And when it does dip, it proves to be a solid dip buy, historically speaking here. And we can see that if we look at, let's say, the 3-year chart. Every pullback we've seen, aggressive pull down of 10, 15, 20%, it's proved to be a dip buy. And on this 3-year week chart, MasterCard is holding the 50 SMA. If we zoom in a bit closer on this 20-day 1-hour chart, we're testing that 50 SMA to break out. So this could be a level worth watching in MA. So gold, back to gold, guys. This could be doing one of two things. It could be consolidating, getting ready for the next leg up if the markets do end up tanking. Or we may see this tank even further, maybe down to 1540, which is one of the next major supports that I'm watching. And it's funny because gold is usually viewed as a safe haven. People put their money in there. And a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time, it moves inverse to the market. So to see the market drop and to see gold drop at the same time, that's quite interesting, which leads me again to what I said earlier in this video. Maybe people are selling out to pile up some more cash, to maybe buy some more equities, or maybe just to sit on the cash, maybe to see if the market goes even lower. And again, I'd love to know what you guys have to think about that down below in the comment section. So overall, I'm going to end off the video here. If you guys enjoyed it, feel free to go down below for me and hit that like button, and also consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see further content like this. Join our Strive Smart Facebook group as well as our Discord group chat, 100% free of charge, as well as those 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 $5 with a deposit of $100. That's linked down below. Everything is linked down below in the description box. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Hope today and this whole week didn't spook you guys out of the stock market. This is normal stuff. Hope next week is better. Let's see. Let's hope it's better, but only time will tell. And yeah, we'll go over the market futures in Sunday's video and kind of the game plan heading into Monday. So subscribe again to the channel. Stay tuned for that. I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.